because I got my rounds. Hold it down like, what's up now? I got a lot of bounds, so much of it I'ma shake the house. Moving it in and out, hold it down like, what's up now? Yeah, what's up now?
One last ride.
Hold it down like, what's up now?
Okay. Hey guys, welcome to a new episode of AB in the Films. It's been about a month and a half since the last AB in the Films episode. God, my hair is so long. I really gotta get a haircut. Okay, it's officially April 3rd. Well, it's April 2nd right now, but it'll be April 3rd by the time you guys watch this, or after April 3rd, considering how long this will be on YouTube. The wait is over. Furious 7 is now in theaters. It's released to the world, the very curious world. I don't know if everyone in the world is going to be curious to see this movie, but to those who have been curious, I am one of you. Before I get into the movie, first of all, if you guys want to know my quick, real opinion on this, before I get into the depth of this, because I don't know how long this review is going to be, let me just say for the fact, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Is it as good as Fast 5? In my opinion, I think it's better. But I'll get into that, in a little while. I should probably talk about my history with these movies, because I think it does play an interesting part here, and, with what happened during the production of Furious 7, which we all know, was Paul Walker's tragic and untimely death, very sudden and ironic. I want to talk about these movies here for a minute. My original opinion of these movies was that I always thought they were stupid, and I never watched them. I never did. It was never really my thing. They just never were. Like, I still remember when the first movie came out back in 2001, and I didn't see it. It was PG-13. I was 8 when the first one came out, and that was 14, 15 years ago. But as the sequels kept coming out, I kept avoiding them because, everyone thinks, oh, well, the more sequels there are, the crappier and crappier it gets. Not in the Fast and Furious case. No, it just got better and better as it went on. Well, let's put it this way. It started out as bad, and then it got better. And it's usually the other way around with all the other franchises and sequels and stuff like that. So getting back to my history here, I avoided these movies. And then, when they were making number 7, and Paul Walker passed away, I remember hearing about that on the news because CNN was talking about it and the news was talking about it, and they were already making a 7th one at the time, which I didn't even know because I wasn't one of the fans at the time. And people were talking about this guy, Paul Walker, and I'm like, who is this guy? Like, I've never really... I didn't notice him from anything else. I never heard of this guy as an actor. I never heard of him. And it said Fast and Furious, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, there you go. I don't watch those movies. I wouldn't know. And they started talking about, his charity that he started, Row. He started, basically, just a great, down-to-earth guy. This was a guy that didn't give a crap about who he was in Hollywood. He didn't care about what he did or anything like that. No, he cared about people, and he didn't let his fame go to his head. He actually, I don't want to say embraced it, because I can't speak for the guy, but from what I've seen and from what I've heard people say about him, is that he seemed like a really nice person. He really did. And the other interesting thing about it is, and I'm not going to say, like, oh, Paul Walker was one of the greatest actors of our time. I'm not, like, his acting, I'm not going to say his acting was great, but in a way, it kind of was with the Fast and Furious franchise, because he was kind of like Brian O'Connor, if you really think about it. Like, he was, he loved driving around in fast cars. He loved speeding a lot, and he And, you know, he was a really sweet guy. And him and Vin Diesel, you know, had a great relationship as friends and stuff, you know what I mean? So that was really a nice thing to hear and stuff. And so when you watch the Fast and Furious movies now, it kind of fits in a way. I saw this movie that he did that was released a couple months after he passed, called Hours, and it's on Netflix. And I thought that movie was pretty good. I mean, it's about a guy searching for trying to get to his daughter during Hurricane Katrina, I think. Boy, I'm getting off topic here. All right, so Paul Walker passes away, and everybody's talking about it. Everyone's saying how big this franchise was and how great it was, and everyone was telling me you gotta see number 5 and number 6. Those are the best ones. Everybody was telling me that. Dude, you gotta see number 5. You gotta see. That was the main thing I heard from everybody. You gotta see number 5. You gotta see Fast 5. And I'm like, I don't want to see these movies because I don't care if people say they're good. It doesn't mean I'm gonna like it. Like, it's not. I don't like racing cars because the thing is, racing isn't really my thing, and I know that's what a lot of these movies consist of, is racing. And it just wasn't my thing. So, you know, they talk about him. I kind of got intrigued, but I never really saw any of the movies. And then a year later goes by, and the first trailer of 7 gets released. And I looked at that trailer, and I watched it, and I said to myself, you know what? I think they might have pulled this off. I think they might have pulled this movie off. Because I heard that Paul had been there for only 3 months of shooting. Like, they started shooting it in September of 2013, and he passed away at the end of November. So he was there for like 3 months of shooting, which I don't know how much of shooting he was in, but judging from the movie from the film I saw, he was in quite a lot of it. I mean, I think they were saying like 85% of the film he's in. He's in a good chunk of it. It's not like he's in like 2 scenes and then that's it. It's CGI Paul Walker. No, it's not like that. So I saw that first trailer, and I must have watched that trailer hundreds of times. Hundreds of times. And I just got so hyped for it. And then I finally said, you know what? I'm going to watch these movies. I'm going to sit down, I'm going to watch these movies, but I'm going to start at the beginning. I'm going to start with the first one. And I watched the first one, and I was so bored. I know the first movie has its fans out there, but man, was I so bored with watching the first one. Because everything that Furious 7 is what I thought the first one was going to be. I thought I was going to get a lot of story, a lot of character development. Racing, yes, it's called The Fast and Furious, but I was going to get that character, and that whole family relationship between these characters. And it's in there, but it's not depth. The depth isn't in there. No. It's mostly racing is what it is. And I can understand that. I understand that can do it for some people, but for me, it was just boring. Like I was falling asleep during this movie. I didn't care. But the one thing I did find interesting is how young Vin Diesel and Paul Walker look in this movie. I mean, I know it was a while ago, but man, they look young. And Michelle and Jordana, like, oh my God, they're just so young when you watch that compared to now. So, yeah, I saw the first one. I didn't think it was all that great. Too Fast, Too Furious, I haven't seen. I know a lot of people don't like that one. I know that's the one where Tyrese and Ludacris come into the whole thing. Yeah, I know that. I didn't see it. Tokyo Drift, the third one. The third one, I think for the most part, a lot of people, even the fans, don't like that much. I think that's like the least favorite, if not the worst Fast and Furious movie, I think, because it has, I guess it's kind of like what Halloween 3 did, because none of the original characters are in Tokyo Drift except Vin, but Vin Diesel's, but he's only got a cameo in like the last 2 minutes of the movie, that's it. It mostly focuses on Sean Boswell, Lucas Black's character, and Bow Wow. So that comes along, and then we have the fourth one. The fourth one, I barely remember. I did see it. I did watch that one. I know that's the one where Dom goes to jail in the end, but other than that, I barely remember what happens in the fourth one. I know that was the first time I saw Brian O'Connor as a cop. Because in the first movie, I never saw him as an undercover cop. No, I just saw him as a surfer dude in L.A., some random surfer guy in Los Angeles. Like he spoke like a surfer dude. It was the character. I never pictured him as a cop in the first movie. Never did. In the fourth one, I kind of did. We see him in headquarters in the first one, yes, but in the fourth one, he's talking like a cop. He's acting like a cop, and then at this point, he's just about to become an ex-cop. At this point, so the fourth one, barely remember. Fast Five. Yeah, it's awesome. Fast Five is awesome. And not just because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is in it. No, that's one reason. But that was the first time I gave a crap about the characters. Everything that Furious 7 was promising and the stuff I thought I was going to get in the first one, Fast 5 had. It had a lot more character development. It had a story that was easy to follow. I was much more interested in the plot. I was interested in the characters, which I know is very rare for Fast and Furious fans because a lot of the fans are not, they don't care about the plot or anything. They only care about, the action. And the action is good. The action is good. Yeah, so Fast 5, loved it. Fast 6, I think Fast and Furious 6 is better than Fast 5, in my opinion. I think it's a little better. You got everyone going over to, well, I'm not here to review Fast and Furious 6. Let's just say I thought it was great. Action was great. The scene with the tank and the bridge. The scene with the airplane. I know a lot of people say it's ridiculous. I know that people say that it's over the top, it's stupid, it's not realistic. Guys, it's a movie. A movie. It's not supposed to be realistic. I don't care if it's a live action movie. It's still a movie. I really get tired and not pissed off, but tired that people say, oh, it's so cheesy. People still love it, but they still say, oh, these are cheesy lines. This is terrible. Not terrible, but it's so over the top. It could never happen. It's a movie, guys. Of course it's not going to happen. It's fantasy. It's a movie. I don't care if it's live action. It's still a movie. It's not supposed to be realistic. Okay, so stop saying that. That it's cheesy and everything. I mean, it might be, yes, but stop saying that shit. I mean, get with the program, guys. It's still a movie. So that happens. And now we've got Furious 7, and we're about, 12, 13 minutes into this review, and finally I'm getting to the review. Furious 7. So I just got back from seeing a 7 o'clock showing on April 2nd, and it's everything you're expecting. It is everything you are expecting. It is, Vin Diesel's been going around saying this for a while. He said that when him and Paul would go to the screenings for every Fast and Furious movie, Paul would always tell him that the best one is still in the can. I think we can make a better one. I think we can make a better one. I think this is the best one. This is the best one. It had the most heart. It had the best action scenes I've ever seen in any action movie ever, let alone any Fast and Furious film. It had great characters, a lot of new characters that were actually interesting. The plot was good. I really liked it. It got better. My only problem with the film is I wish The Rock was in it more. That was my only problem with the film. Aside from that, I have nothing else to complain about this movie. I have nothing to complain about it. It is everything I was hoping it would be, and it is. But they upped it. Big time.